Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort? While our brave restoration forces lack medical supplies at the home front?
Are we still throwing big birthday bashes while our restoration forces lack basic communication equipment to maximize their efforts?
Are we still going on cruises and expensive vacations while our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics?
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical, intelligence and other special operations across the national territory?
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not funded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Amazonia die as a wish, because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depend on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.
Hello, Amazonians. A very good evening to you all out there. Welcome to the pre-draft show. Remember earlier when we were on the recap, we did tell you that we will be back for the pre-draft show. So I am sure that you are ready to draft because in some minutes we will be drafting fully. We will get ready to join the Zoom for drafting. But before then, we have some representatives from Donga and Mantung here to express themselves. Want to know how prepared they are, want to know how ready they are, want to know how excited they are, want to know how much they will be giving us today. Of course, last week from Libya, we saw exciting amount. We saw an amazing amount realized, and the weeks has gone by, and we must say kudos to everyone that has been drafting. Kudos to everyone that has seen this draft as our responsibility. Bravo to all those that have seen the future, even right from now. And so we say welcome to another pre-draft here for DMC, that is Donga Mantung County. We welcome you. Of course, I won't be doing this alone. Right about now, it's time for us to welcome and recognize this evening our news director, Mr. Tapadi King, who will take over from here to give us a proper pre-draft show. Mr. Ta, over to you.
Good evening, fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Donga Mantung. I think I would do justice to that right after this break.
Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort while our brave restoration forces lack medical supplies at the home front?
Are we still throwing big birthday bashes while our restoration forces lack basic communication equipment to maximize their efforts?
Are we still going on cruises and expensive vacations while our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics?
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical, intelligence and other special operations across the national territory?
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not funded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Amazonia die as a wish because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depends on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.
Okay, you're welcome back. It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop. Like Onye told you earlier on, I'll be doing this with her. But while we are waiting to get her, there's a report she did earlier on. I think our technicians will try to bring back that report. I can see Dr. Tata well seated on the screen. I would like to see Dadinji Manjong, Jean-Claire of Donga Mantung. I'd like you to come and take your seat. You have a beautiful chair there. You take your seat so that the people of Amazonia would definitely like to see you and be sure of who is live on TV, and then we know what that is what is happening. Okay, Daddy Nzi Manjong, if you're there, just let me know. Okay, I can see you now. I think you are there. So Amazonians, today is Donga Mantung. If you followed the news recap we had earlier on, we had a historical review of what Donga Mantung is. You know, this is the only platform where we get to talk the stories of the peoples of Amazonia equitably. It's a time where we dissimulate to the world. We communicate to the world with exactitude who we are as a people. Remember, we have been nicknamed as ducks in La République du Cameroun, les ennemis dans la maison, as 2 cubes of sugar. Unfortunately for us, the 2 cubes are not cubes that can be diluted by any solution of Franco-Cameroon hegemony. And unfortunately for them, every attempt to annihilate, assimilate, delete us as a people, eradicate us from this world has failed. So when we get to do the drafts in the counties, we think it is an opportunity where people get to understand what Amazonia is all about. Last week, we had Boyo. We went deep into the county of Boyo, went to every LGA, and gave to you a historical significance. This week was Donga Mantung. And we started on Thursday by explaining to you the different LGAs that are in Donga Mantung. Today, I have 2 scholars. These are my fathers, I would say. These are intelligent people who understand what is happening in Donga Mantung and will definitely be taking to us very serious questions on the cultural perspective, on the socio-political, and definitely to tell us the preparedness of Donga Mantung prior to this draft. And without any delay, I'll be introducing to you right away Dr. Tata. I know a lot of you already know who Dr. Tata is. He is always here with Pastor Commando in their amazing program. And we have Dadin D. Manjong. Manjong is a name I love. When I used to be young, I hear the word Manjong. Da Manjong. You're welcome, Daddy. Good evening. You want to say hi to the people? You're welcome. Can we hear you? Go right ahead, please. The floor is yours. Daddy D. Manjong. Can you speak? The floor is yours. Please unmute yourself. Just the icon on your device that shows the microphone, just touch it and you're going to have sound. Yes, speak. I think I can see some sound from your angle. Speak. Let's hear you. Okay, Dr. Tata, speak while we try to connect him. Yes, I think it's good now. That's okay. Speak right away. I can hear you. Dr. Tata, the floor is all yours.
While our most elder in the house, Mfomindi Manjong, is connecting, I want to say hello to all our televiewers, all our brothers and sisters in Donga and Mantung, and everyone that is at the home front, and everyone that is all over, anywhere in the world, right this moment. It is our moment to present to you Donga Mantung war draft. We are very, very pleased and we are so excited about the draft that is going to be taking place a couple of minutes from now. We can see that people have been drafting already, and we are so excited about that. We want to remind ourselves about the inception. How did Donga Mantung name come from? Donga Mantung come from two rivers. The Donga River that have boundaries, part of the Donga River has international boundaries with Nigeria. And the other river that comes with the name Mantung is a Mantung River. And Mantung River is a prominent river in LGA. So we are so excited about drafting. And as what Paddy just said, Donga Mantung has 5 LGAs. Nwa LGA, Nkambe LGA, Ndu LGA, Misaje LGA, and Ako LGA. And each LGA has a peculiarity. Like the Nwa LGA is the oldest among the LGAs because Nkambe LGA gave birth to Ndu LGA, Mr. LGA, Mr. J LGA, and Ako LGA. Nwa has remained since its inception in 1963. Nwa has been like that till today. But Nwa is so wonderful that part of Nwa is one of the peculiar local government area that has enjoyed 2 climates. It enjoyed a lowland, very lowland climate that is heated, that we can have very good palm nut from the Mbok plain. Mbok plain goes right to part of Ngoketunjia. So a big chunk of Mbok plain also goes into Bui Bui County. So Nwa is noted for cattle rearing. Is one of those places that supplies a big chunk of cattle from Donga Mantung. The other place in Donga Mantung is the Dumbu cattle range, and other LGS have cattle. So Donga Mantung provide a very huge supply of cattle. Not only that, when we come to Ndu LGA, we all know about the Ndu tea, and somebody pretending that he was an entrepreneur from South Africa, and he bought over the Ndu tea. Ndu tea became privatized, we are looking forward to get back our lost cooperation from that person. Then, when we come to Mr. J and Ako enjoy a very wonderful climate like that because of the topography. Ako is one of those LGAs like the Mbo Inwa that has production of Robusta coffee and cocoa and palm oil, just like the Mbo plain of Nwa LGA. So we have a lot of things. When we come to Nkambe LGA is noted for the biggest reservoir for iron. So we're looking forward for Nkambe LGA to be one of those manufacturing steel industry, car industry. Why not even above Japan? Because Japan doesn't have the iron ore that we have in Nkambe LGA. And part of Nkambe LGA, we have, when we look at Tabiken, one of the largest native village, the largest among the villages, Tabiken enjoys another climate that a Robusta can be grown in Tabiken, and not only that, there is a reservoir of coal and the volcanic soils that make Tabiken one of the best places that are growing a lot of things, a basket for the neighboring city of Nkambe. And the Manjong will explain more of this. I'm just giving some vibes. And our elder is here. Manjong, over to you.
Yeah, Daddy D Manjong, just introduce yourself to the people, and I think we'll have all the time to do that. Talk to the people. Let's be sure that we have your sound now. Can we hear you, please, Daddy? Can you hear us? Just speak. You can hear us.
I'm on, right?
Yes, good. Go right ahead now.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, and I hope you're hearing me too.
Just go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I am Dimanjong, and with due respect, we call me for me Dimanjong. Yeah, I'm glad that today is the draft day for my county, which is Donga and Mantung. Like somebody indicated, what an old man sitting, a young person on top of a tree probably wouldn't see. Donga and Mantung is the old man of Amazonia. It is still the Kame division that it was in 1961, while others, except maybe Victoria and Alpha Co, have undergone transformations, subdivided into many units. Donga has remained the same as it was in 1961, and philosophically or in outlook, it is still what it was in 1961 in terms of its view. But for Kumba at the time, which today I don't know what the composition is, Kumba Manung, Kuba, Meme, whatever. Those are the composition it was a Cambe division that indicated that trying anything with the folks that were trying to ask them to let us go was an effort in futility. We realized it then, and we still realize it now. So you are in Donga, Mantung, what used to be Cambe division of Reverend Andose out there in Ako or in Membe, Jetinze probably in Bumlan, and the money is probably in Ima, and the spirit they had then has since been inherited by today's generation, and we still think like those people thought in 1961 and before. This is, as Dr. Tata was saying, we are at the gable end of them. We are probably we don't know now if we're the opposite of Fako or the opposite of Indian, because previously we could say down to Victoria, that was the southernmost end, and then you come to Cambe, which was the northernmost end of what used to be the southern Cameroons, which today is Amazonia. So you are in the land of people that see into the future, and they are seeing into the future even now with regards to this struggle. And today is their day to make a contribution to the fight in terms of how much can come to the table, and whatever comes to the table with their commitment and with their hearts, as historically has always been, much will be made out of it. So welcome to Donga and Mantung, those of you who are here to give us a hand, and be rest assured that you are investing in the people that had invested in the future of Amazonia as far back as 1961, if not earlier. So
Thank you very much.
Opportunity. Then we'll have much time to talk about other things should it become necessary.
Yes, thank you very much, Daddy. One thing that inspires me, I'm going to be bringing back Onye, and she had something sweet for us. You know, earlier on, she actually was discussing about the historical review of Ndonga Mantung. This is what gets me excited is the two anchor ladies have taken the responsibility to research very extensively and very deeply on every LGA and county when we are supposed to draft. But you're just talking now, your connection is disturbing. I'm still struggling to listen with excitement because when I look at your age and the fact that you are participating to fight back the Franco-Cameroon hegemony is an inspiration. There's every evidence, you do not need to put that in word. Every evidence is that you're fighting for us and for our children. You're not fighting for yourself. And it's quite inspiring. I'm talking for all those of you watching on Facebook and on YouTube and even on our website. Get yourself ready to connect to the Zoom right now. Look at the youth. It's an apology for any youth in the former British Southern Cameroons, today Amazonia, not to figure out what they can do and how they can do it to make sure that homeland is free. When you see people like our fathers, we've been behind the scene with him, trying to get him connected, and he was so determined. He's so willing. He so wants to communicate, not for any show. He really has nothing to gain in Amazonia today. I think his joy will be that that we are free as a people and as a nation in the future. Not even for today. He has lived his life. Now I'll be transitioning back into Undaunted Studio so that Onye will usher us in into a new phase. And when we come back, we'll get this discussion. So just stay tuned and like while she comes back.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tara. And also our sincere thanks goes to Dr. Tata and of course our dearest daddy Ndi Manjo. Thank you so much for that brief introduction on the history of Donga Mantung. All right, earlier during our recap, we also gave a little history on Donga and Mantu and how Donga and Mantu means river, two different rivers meeting together. And, we shared a whole lot in that history. So would want you to also take a listen, just in case you missed it earlier in our recap show earlier this evening, would want you to take a listen and take a watch as to how we packaged that report. Undaunted will give you more details. So ensure that you connect with us on Monday when we will bring the full briefings to your doorstep. All right, right after the break, we will be giving you brief history of Donga Mantung County. Remember, today we draft for DMC. So today, right after the break, we would give you a brief history of Donga Mantung County.
The Republic of Cameroon has refused to go for negotiations. There's so much injustice, and we are so disappointed with the response of the international community. Because if we were terrorists, then somebody better say so. If we have a just cause, then let us sit and negotiate what is wrong that has been done to us, and how are we supposed to right this wrong. We don't love to be refugees. We would rather be home and develop our own country, but not in a place where there are no human rights, no respect of international treaties. Refugees are registered in a neighboring country and they are rounded up. In contrary to the law of no refoulement, the people send them and they are locked up in their thousands in French-speaking Cameroon, and they don't even have care services like in a normal country where people are cared for, treated. They're just lumped up, and families have to go hundreds of kilometers to try to smuggle food and medicines to them. Many are dying, and people can escape. Here we are, because of you, begging you to send our refugees, please.
All right, you're welcome back. All right, I hope you're ready to draft today. Hope you're ready to draft for Dongan Mantung County. Last week was for Libelem, and we did exceedingly amazingly well. I'm sure that this week will be even much more better. Now, let's take a brief look at Dongan Mantung County. Now, it got its names from a German explorer called Donga, who opened a German station and hospital in Mbem Nwa in 1911. Mr. Donga also operated the first hydroelectricity plant on a river found beside the hospital, simply called Mantung, meaning river, in the Mbem dialect by the natives. So this station and the German directives made a man and his project on the Mantung River. It made the Germans to simply consider him and his project a reference point for their exploration of the Cameroon High Plateau. Now, eventually, the administration of Cameroon found these names respective of the historical, developmental, and local distinction that should be used in honor of the indescribable work of these Germans. Now, it is also to be noted that it was he that used forced labor to excavate the road to Mbema via the dangerous Rome Rock manually. Now, for the sake of organization and clarity, this first part of the brief history of Dongan Mantung shall be focused on institution, the first part, and the second part We'll be focused on the history of the people who make up Donga and Mantung County. Now, they are the Wimbom, Yamba, Tikari, Mfente, Mbembe, Mbisa, and Misa J peoples. Now, Cameroon, however, became a German protectorate in July 14, 1884. By 1916, Germany was defeated during the First World War by the Allied forces, and Cameroon was handed over to France and Britain under the League of Nations Mandate Agreement of 1922. Britain and France was mandated by the League of Nations to administer and prepare Cameroon for self-government at a later date. Now, the mandate agreement resulted in the partition of Cameroon between the French and the British, who had to enact policies that would ensure efficiency in the administration of their respective portions of the mandate territory of Cameroon. Now, from 1916 to 1922, Britain had no formal administrative policy for the Cameroons and Nigeria. It was only in 1923 that the British Orders in Council created the then administrative unit known as Native Authorities (NA), and it was headed by traditional rulers. The 1923 Orders in Council established British colonial policy for the Cameroons and Nigeria. Now, the Orders in Council equally enacted that British laws, which were already applicable in Nigeria, by being extended to both northern and southern Cameroons. By this policy, each village or chieftaincy or fiefdom constituted a native authority. Now, the 1923 Orders in Council introduced a native administrative system known as indirect rule, through which Britain administered its colonies in Africa through indigenous chiefs and traditional institutions. This traditional system therefore excluded the educated elite from administration. The administration was mounted by traditional rulers who were, for the most part, not literate or well educated. Hence, they lacked both managerial capacities and financial resources to carry out social economic development. Now, this constituted a major flaw of the native authority system of administration. Now, this flaw necessitated the administrative reforms of 1949 by the British. Now, in 1949, Britain decided to create local government units in the Cameroons and Nigeria. Different chiefdoms or fiefdoms were merged together to constitute local government units. Thus, today, Northwest region was transformed into a province known as the Bamenda province and 3 counties, namely Bamenda, Wom, and Nkambe. Southwest region was equally divided into 3 counties, namely Mamfe, Kumbe, and Victoria. Now, these counties had a deliberative and legislative powers, and the representatives were elected through universal suffrage. They were empowered to ensure development in all facets. Now, let's look at the creation of Nkambe County. Now, the Nkambe County, today known as Donga Mountain County, was created for the first time in 1949 by the British Colonial Ordinance. It was one of the 3 divisional local government units of the then Bamenda province of Southern Cameroon. The Bamenda province of Southern Cameroon was made up of 3 counties, namely Bamenda, Wom, and Nkambe. Nkambe County lasted from 1949 to 1968, when Donga and Mantung County were created by a presidential decree. Now, from 1963 to 1966, the Nkambe County was divided into 2 local government areas, namely Onwa local government area, created by presidential decree number 63/DF/25 of 26 July 1963, and Nkambe local government area, created by presidential decree number 66/DF/432 of 26 August 1966. Now, let's look at the proper creation of Donga Mantung County. On the 30th of December 1968, presidential decree number 68/DF509 Nkambe County was transformed into Donga and Mantung County. By the Administrative Reorganization of 1972, Presidential Decree Number 72 to 349 of 4th July 1972 once more changed the name of the county from Donga and Mantung to simply Donga Mantung County. The conjunction "and" was simply removed from the name because "and" shows two, but when it's together it shows one. Now it should be noted that Donga Mantung County derived its name from two rivers that flows across the county, namely River Donga in Ako local government area and River Mantung in Nwa local government area. Ako local government area was the third local government area to be created in Donga Mantung County. It was created by a presidential decree in 1977. It covered Ako and Misa J areas. Ndu local government area was created by presidential decree in 1992 and its accompanying municipal council was created in 1993 via decree number 93/332 of 25th November 1993. Misaje local government area, just like Ndu local government area, was created and carved out of Ako local government area in 1992 by a presidential decree. Now let's look at the creation of the 5 local government areas. From 1992 to 1996, Donga Mantung County witnessed yet another evolution. The constitutional reforms of 1996 in the Cameroons transformed provinces into regions and did away with the previous administrative units called districts and replaced them with subdivisions. Now, thus, from 1996, districts ceased to exist as administrative units in Cameroon. The local government area were each accompanied by municipal councils headed by mayors elected via universal suffrage. So the 5 local government areas that make up Donga Mantung today are 1. Nkambe Central Local Government Area, Nwa LGA, Ako LGA, Ndu LGA, and 5. Misaje LGA. Right, so this is where I would end the part 1 of the history of Donga Mantung County. So I'm sure that you are ready to draft. Once we begin drafting, we would have a pre-draft show. So get yourself ready and get yourself prepared to draft until we draft. I am Onyi Okbala saying thank you for tuning in and thank you for being part of our recap show today.
Onye, thank you very much, Dr. Tata and Daddy Ndi Manjong. I am quite elated with that historical review there coming in from Undaunted Newsroom. We proud of you, ladies, for what you're doing. People get inspired when their story is told in that manner. ABC is already connected on Zoom for those of you watching on the social media. Ndonga Mantung is ready to make it happen tonight. So get yourself connected on the Zoom as you're watching. Get yourself ready to draft. It's you already can see what the draft is doing on the ground. It's doing big. It's doing real big, really big. And this is the weekend for Ndonga Mantung County, DMC. What a beautiful name, Dr. Tata. Now, we have heard the history, we've heard the geopolitics that some was imposed by the colonial administration. Right now, we need to hear the preparedness of Donga. What is the administrative setup? What is the info that the people need to know? I understand Coopers affected almost every county, but we are reconstituting and reconstructing and enhancing and revitalizing. So let us get to know what is happening right now, please. Talk to us.
Yeah, we are very happy. Can you get okay? We are very happy to announce to us that despite the shaking, there have to be a shaking in order to get the real thing. When you want to eat fufu corn with njama, that fufu corn has to be sifted with what you call the chekere. and the shifter will be put aside. Now, after the checking, we have 3 local government in the GMC area that are running. The one LGA with our able chairman, our able chairman for GMC come from one LGA, Dr. Muyo, and we have incumbent LGA, the new LGA with Dr. Julius, and we have the incumbent LGA with Dr. Tata. So these are the composition, and Dr. Tata is having dual duties here as the deputy chair for DMC and also for the LGA, incumbent LGA. And we are quite excited, and we are looking forward. And we have Tam Formin Jimanjong, that is one of our elders, and who has made himself available in this TV today. And if there's something that I am missing, he will add up. But we are excited. It's going to be a surprise. The people used to say October surprise. This is August surprise. August surprise. Mark that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Tata. You said this is August surprise. Daddy Ndi Manjoma, you have to talk to us and give us some snippets of this August surprise that we are expecting in Donga Mantung. Yes, talk to us, Daddy. We can hear you. Daddy, go right ahead. We can hear you.
Well, if you want to know what the August surprise is, I will say that you are here in the very competition that was there in 1961. That's kind of the surprise, because everybody has done their transformation and transformation. If you go now to ask where is Bermuda Division or what was Bermuda Division, it will be difficult for anybody to show what Bermuda Division used to be. If you ask what was the Womb Division, anybody that shows you anything will not look like anything you know now. But if you come and if you ask where is the Kambe Division or what was Kambe Division like, what you see of Donga Mantung is exactly what was Kambe Division in 1961. So it's kind of difficult when the colonial masters can make and unmake. Maybe our August, part of our August surprise is that they have never been able to unmake the Kambe Division of 1961. We have remained that the Kambe Division except for the name, which is Donga Mantung. I think the other part of the August surprise is that we in Donga Mantung, what we knew in 1961 is what we still know now. So the rest of the people are doing kind of catch up. So you are here and we are providing you with the opportunity to say the old man of Amazonia, is Donga Mantung, has been here, still is here, and still will be here. Whatever happens today in terms of the draft, we are saying that we will use it the Kambe Division way, which is not the Donga Mantung Division way, in terms of the struggle. So if you want more of surprises, I don't know what else to tell you, except to say that the people in Bermuda Division, which is now Bui, Boketungia, Azam, Momo, they'll be surprised to find that Gambia division, not Donga Mantung, will probably will be planting its county flag in Boya before any of them. That's probably one of the surprises. And if those communities support us, really support us with that understanding, yeah, no dollar of US will be for nothing. It will help Donga Mantung seriously to plant its flag in Boya before any of the other old constitutions of 1961, which is Gambia division, us, Bamina division, so many now, division, more than one. Yeah, those are surprises that we're saying that, yeah, invest in, and you will see what we'll be able to do with regards to the struggle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daddy. I'll be coming back to you right now, Dr. Tata, so you can also continue to talk to us. Like I said earlier on, you choose to put it in an August surprise, which is nice. August visitor, August surprise. Maybe Donga Mantung is planning to do 500,000 USD today, and all things are possible. By your faith, you can do it. So, talking about the LGAs, constituted LGAs within Donga Mantung, during the draft, it's time for us to look at all of this. The LGAs that have been constituted and that the people can count. What should our people expect in Donga Mantung when it comes to prosecuting the war and fighting the colonial administration? Talk to us, Dr. Tata.
Yeah, Donga Mantung stand in a very strategic area. DMC shares boundary with Nigeria and with La Republique. Not only that, you remember that the first colonial president, Ahijo, he visited the area when I was 6 years old. He visited Gambia when I was 6 years old. I never knew what was happening. I thought that it was a good transition because we used to use shillings and pennies. But I never knew that we were undergoing a second colonization after Britain. So when we look at Gambia LGA, what do we see? We see a bastion. After Bamenda military barrack, the largest military barrack in the Savannah zone is based in Gambia LGA. They know the strategy. But we are coming today like David facing Goliath, and we are not moved. They have been bragging that they have it there, but this is a war of inheritance, and that's why we're coming to shake our pocket and say that, look, Gambia is ready. And from Gambia, we're going down to Boya to hoist our flag, as Tam for Mindy Manjong just mentioned. We are ready for that.
Okay. Tam for Mindy Manjong. I like the way you call it because I want to call it like some grammar. But you put it in the sweetest form. Tam for Mindy Manjong. That's a beautiful name. Let's, Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen, those watching us on the Zoom and on Facebook, on YouTube, at the home front, I'd like you to enjoy some sweet music coming in from Donga Mantung. And right after that, we will continue with the discussion. Stay tuned.
Welcome
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. You know, today is a day for Donga Mantung, and it is clear we're just gonna have Donga Mantung every moment from now as people connecting on the Zoom. It's 6 minutes to 9 p.m. Amber time. Amazonians all around the world are trying to connect. And so this song was easy. One thing that's sweet about African music is they don't bother the Western thing R&B. You want to go up the mountain and down. No, this is just give and take. But Dr. Tata, what's the meaning of that song? It's so beautiful. What was it saying?
The song is a signature tune from Nwa Ejie.
Okay.
Because we went Ejie by Ejie to samples songs that represent those Ejies. So this is just one of the songs that we got from Nwa Ejie. I will get back to you when I get back to Meokari to give us a brief of what the song is talking, because it's actually the Yamba people will be so excited, the Fumtes, they will be so excited
the Yamba,
when
the
they get this song. Yeah. And also, you know that the Mbok plane has a mixture of Chikari. The Mbok plane.
And I must tell you, Amazonians, you're going to discover, just a moment, Dr. Tata. Amazonians, you're going to discover a lot about Donga Mountain today. Lots of beautiful music is coming in. Just imagine we're talking about one county, and you have diverse forms of ways they express themselves culturally. It's amazing. That's how rich and diversified Amazonia is. And during the days of the draft is an opportunity where we sit as Amazonians. It's like, I remember when I go for village, I like evening time because you go sit down for corner fire. Big mommy, they teach you, they talk that story there for you when I born corn and granite. So when I come, wait till the chop we put they did Donga man to the chop. Because I hope so I don't prepare them. We won't come now in our house today, so we'll get all of that.
Tanji Manjong, you want to go time for me? You want to go ahead before I come in?
Time for me, Ndi Manjong. Please go ahead.
Well, I don't know what else to say other than what I have said, or what will in due time I will be saying. Yeah, you are in Donga Mountain. Yeah, the topmost, the furthest north of Amazonia. We have the Gable end there. We are the ones that take care of that end of Amazonia, either against La Republique to Cameroon or against Nigeria. Yeah, you just saw us there with a cultural from one local government area. Hopefully, you'll be seeing more from other local government areas. And of course, if you're here to be entertained, to be thrilled, so that you feel like reaching in to give us the support, well, we will culturally entertain you, because we are culturally very rich. We are amongst those people that, like I said, want to forget nothing. So we still have our culture kind of virgin, so to speak. So there will be much of that virgin culture that will be rolling out to those who want to be entertained before they can reach in to give us a hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tam, for me, Ndi Manjong. Dr. Tata, you want to say something? Go right ahead.
In addition, our anthem, the Ambazonia anthem, says, of the lands flowing with milk and honey. we want to share with you that the milk bulk can be produced in Misaje and Nwa LGS. And the honey in Misaje LGA, Misaje LGA can produce huge amount of honey that can really fill out many places in Amazonia. So when we say a land flowing with milk and honey, it will take away the cattle from Mwa, the cattle from Mr. J, LGA, and Ako LGA, and the other LGAs, then we'll be short of milk. So we have a land flowing with milk and honey that is enshrined in our anthem. Mr. J itself has been the food crops like maize and granite in the early production. And many of the people that work in Binju and Kambe, the early harvest of the peanuts from Misaje and the surrounding areas, it's really used to nourish a lot. Ndu is noted for Ndu and Nwa is noted for goats, and especially beans, the black beans, the Mbambara granite, and many other things like that. The white, the native white carrot, they call it ngui. It's very, very good in this area.
As you're speaking, I'm just salivating because I want to taste a little bit from the Bambalang granite. You know, when we were young, the Bambalang granite is not like every other granite. So it was so different. When they said the country granite and Eshimbi in the cup, the Bambalang granite is sold in a bowl, and the price is always different because it's a special delicacy. I understand when you go to Donga Mantung, it's served to you. Do you people have some Bambalang today? Because we are all going to put on our Bluetooth to make sure that we get some Bambalang. If you don't have it, okay, Amazonians have come to draft.
Okay.
Okay, Amazonians, like I said, today is going to be all about Amazonia, all about Donga Mantung. And you're going to discover the way they express themselves in the music, the way they express themselves in their cultures. Right now, as we're going for another musical break, you're going to see some beautiful Amazonian women in the obvious dress that is making, in fact, it's a fashion globally. La République du Cameroon has tried to taint it with their green, red, yellow colors. In fact, they don't have any culture that is as representative as ours. And they want to hijack it like they want to hijack us and make it theirs. So enjoy this, ladies, and we'll be right back. Yes, fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen, that was a beautiful one there coming from Donga, Mantung County. And Daddy, I think Nijo, Madam Irene, and the president would definitely want you people to be committed on the Zoom 100%. So I must release you now so that you can
Thank
go to the Zoom. And we are all Amazonians going to be logging into the Zoom. We'll be enjoying some music from Nonga Mantung. And we may, just to help you go into the Zoom, we may have to stop the streaming on the social media so that you can connect on the Zoom. And right after that, we will
Hello.
get back when the president of the
Okay.
Federal Republic of
Okay.
Amazonia will be addressing the nation.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Tata, please just give your last statement and make it really brief so that you can definitely go and handle some real duties. The floor is yours.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to the next place. They're waiting for me for prayers. Thank you. Thank you, and see you there.
Okay, bye for now. Okay, Daddy D Manjong, the floor is all yours. Please talk to us now, Daddy. The floor is yours. Just make your last statement. Let's go.
Yeah, we are very, very excited about today being our draft day, and we wish to welcome everybody way in advance to our draft day, and we look forward to a very successful draft because our success in the draft is the success in getting ourselves to Boya. So you're all very, very, very welcome, and thank you for being this early to listen to us and to watch us. Donga Mantung that is drafting today for the struggle. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daddy. You're listening to me now. I think I would encourage that maybe you disconnect from here and go to Zoom so that the people of Ambazonia that are waiting can actually watch and enjoy. Right now, fellow Ambazonians, I want to officially announce to you that the Ambazonians are connecting on the Zoom lavishly. Perhaps the president, from the best of my understanding, the president is connected. I'm sure you would want to see the ambience is on. The ambience is on, as you can see. People are connecting on the Zoom lavishly. You have a whole lot of people connected, and they are watching, and Amazonians are actually watching. We will ask you to join the Zoom meeting right now. You can join the meeting, be a part of this, participate. All the music you're enjoying, you will most probably enjoy this and the Zoom, because today is on Donga Mantung, and we will make it so. With people the way that they watch me, they will enjoy every little bit of Donga Mantung today. Nothing will stop them. Today is a special day for Donga Mantung, where we think see as we really enjoy them, or as we every person they enjoy them. We now continue for enjoying Donga Mantung, fine, and nothing no go stop some man for not really enjoying Donga Mantung today. The music them will play them. When I see I'm saying people don't really connect. Daddy, please just log out from from the console and just log in the Zoom. I'm sure they'll be needing you in the Zoom. Dr. Tata is already there, I'm sure, with prayers. Maybe you also want to log out. Just log out, and that is it, so that we can have you on the Zoom. The stream, will be stopping it any moment from now. I want to let you know that I will stop the stream on Facebook so that you can join the president. The president cannot come on Zoom and he's waiting on you, okay? So we may just have to stop the stream on Facebook and on YouTube so that you can join the president, and let's have to draft together with the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. It's an important day for Donga Mantung, and as you know, the president is always there for every county, every day, to make sure that great things are happening for the people of Amazonia. It's an opportunity when we come like this to draft so that we draft and we draft big and we do big things for our people. It's always an opportunity during a time like this to make sure that we are not just there as spectators, we are there as participants, and we are participating wholly. You know, it is an Ambazonia that we got to win. If we do not win Ambazonia, then there will definitely, surely, or certainly be doom for us if Amazonia is not won. So, like I just flashed to you a few minutes ago, when I say people don't only connect, and also when I want to play that music any longer, but we're not gonna play the music long again because we want to say make all man way to watch we, he go for Zoom and make the Njangi for people for and Donga Mantung make it start today. Some person say draft Nanjangi. I don't agree any less. So when you come, you throw it in Jangi for another man in county. They go throw it in Jangi for your county. Now only so way with the Siam. So I feel only the tell when I say time kuna plenty will be a part of this beautiful show. When I say Siam say
In your
people
presence,
don't connect.
just like you commissioned Joshua in those days to go and possess the land, we are ready to possess the land of Ambazonia. And we are coming before your throne of mercy and asking that you take total control of this occasion from the beginning to the end through the power of your Holy Spirit. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
They show me how if you blow like that, then I will do like this.
So as you can
For
see, I'm basically
Amen.
doing the commentary right now. Um,
Amen.
they just finished the prayers
Amen.
and they're moving into this next segment of the meeting.
Observe a minute of
Lots of
silence.
things are happening. You surely want to be a part of this.
O Lord our God, we pray that the souls of those who have departed will rest in peace, and we pray that their blood will not go in vain. We must achieve our independence because we know that you are our God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen. Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you once again, Dr. Pepper and Dr. Julius, for at this point, we are going to hear from the coordinator of the DMC. I see a lot of people have a difficulty pronouncing Donga Mantung. Just call us DMC. It is just as sexy as saying Donga Mantung. So, yes,
The anthem.
I'm sorry, the anthem next.
Where there is
Yes,
some
Right
noise
now,
and noise
as
from
you can see, they want to do the
yes.
anthem of
Let's see,
Ndongamanto.
we can, at this point, we're singing the national anthem. We ask that if you're a co-host
The
and you
President
are not
of the Federal Republic of Amazonia
muted
is
at this point,
connected
please do
and
do so.
everybody is there watching.
Okay, please, let's honor our flag with the singing of the national anthem. I will pray that all of us put our right hand on the left chest in a position of respect to our flag. Attention. Standard is attention. Let's sing our national anthem. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us our freedom. Allegiance to the heroes who bought this land with their blood. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey, glory Glory, glory to the Father for making a nation a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. My God, we the Father of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall meet in plenty, meeting our need, and their children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God, being the watchman of this nation. Standard is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mwichu. Thank you. What an excellent rendition. Okay, now we are going. Yes, beautiful. All right, now we are going to item number 6. There's a lot of noise in the background. Co-host, please make sure that you go and mute everybody who is not playing a role at this time so that we can have a smooth and beautiful occasion. So after the national anthem, we are now going to item number 6, which is the speech by the coordinator of DMC. DMC is a strategic DMC is a strategic county in Amazonia. DMC has paid a fair share of its price in terms of pain and suffering, Garbo being just one of them. The others include things like the Mbororo and Fulani activities. Yes, DMC is a wonderful county in terms of culture and tradition, and the chairman is going to touch on some of these in his speech. Thank you very much. Chairman, are you ready?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Coordinator. Thank you, all present. Thank you, Chief of Staff. Thank you, Dr. Tata and Dr. Mfo for all that you've done so far. The President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, his cabinet, sympathizers of DMC, friends of DMC, beloved citizens of DMC. A story is told of a young man who went to school from class 1 to upper 6th in the beloved Anglo-Saxon system. Upon graduation from high school, this young man headed to Yaoundé University, the only lone university at the time. He was so excited to be going to the university, but that excitement would soon be short-lived when he encountered various forms of discrimination and marginalization. This caused some of his best friends, classmates, to run this caused some of his friends, classmates, who gave him a run in class to head back to the province, what it was so called then. This young man felt the words of Khalil Gibran: life without liberty is like a body without spirit, beating a drum into his ears. He knew right away that something was wrong and something needed to be done by him, of course, to fix what was wrong. As you gather here today, permit me to acknowledge you and applaud you for taking actions. On behalf of the citizens of DMC, I welcome you to our county, the county of great nationals like Reverend Andose from Bade, Mr. Ndi from Tabuken, and Dr. Ngwang Gemnuhu, who led the Banjo case. In DMC, we are known to share Shua, Nkam, palm wine, raffia, pork, and kola nuts with our guests. Mr. President, you are in charge, and all our guests, you are welcome to break kola nuts and share with your fellow DMC. We hope and pray you will find us hospitable enough to warrant more future gatherings, especially when we get to Boya. Let me share a brief history of DMC. It is, that is DMC, one of the oldest counties in the current settings, LGA, as the oldest LGA, enjoying absolutely no administrative, social, economic, and you name it, changed since its creation on July 26 of 1963. The county was first created in 1949 by the British colonial ordinance. From 63 to 66, it was known as Nkambe Division, made up of two subdivisions, that is Mwa and Nkambe Central. On December 30th, 1968, the county was renamed to Donga and Mantung. In July 4th, 1972, the county was again renamed to Donga Mantung. It is worth noting that that DMC derives her name from two rivers, River Donga in Ako and River Mantung in Mwa. It is therefore like a tree. This background noise. She is therefore like a tree planted by the river that brings forth its fruits in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever she does shall prosper. Since the start of this La République imposed war, DMC has had her fair share of sufferings. The Ngabu incident and the many ongoing incidents with the Mororos are just a few to name. Many lives have been taken away, many properties and assets destroyed. The enemy has armed so many local Mororos to do their dirty jobs for them. The enemy has also armed and allowed foreign Mororos to freely and at will cross the national borders from the neighboring Nigeria into DMC. And with local Mororos, they have inflicted countless casualties on the natives. Besides Nkambe hosting the biggest military base outside of Bamenda, La République today has installed many military posts across DMC since imposing this war. These military posts or persons have with impunity carried out untold attacks on local indigents. The people of DMC can only handle so much. As such, we are reaching out to you, friends of DMC, for your support. Your actions today will go a long way to mitigate the humanitarian crisis caused by the warlords, war thugs. Besides the fact that DMC is a border county, bordering one of, if not the largest economy in Africa and Nigeria, she's also endowed with countless natural resources. She's home to the largest deposit of iron ore in Amazonia. She enjoys lots of granite found in through Binshwa and Tudumbu, gold in and Ako LGAs, bauxite in Ndu and Kambe LGAs, the famous Ndu tea in Ndu LGA. She's become the largest cattle rearing areas in Amazonia. That is and Ako and Ako. Coffee, both Arabica and Robusta, can be found in all the LGAs. She boasts one of two plains found in the Northwest region. It is worth mentioning that the first CDC was opened in LGA by the Germans in the 1880s. DMC is a great source of various agricultural and fishery products like rice, corn, tilapia, cassava, groundnut, palm nut, you name the rest. She's also blessed with the greatest touristic sites, especially in areas of Mwa. Above all, DMC is blessed with some of the greatest, most humble, finest, and God-fearing people you can find in Amazonia. Why do I take pains to fuel you with this boring information? Friends and citizens of DMC, there are some things worth fighting for. And if the glimpse of these things is not worth fighting for, then I wonder what one can fight for. The Apostle Paul, in writing to his spiritual son Timothy, advised that he should fight the good fight. This is our view. This, in our view, is a good fight, especially when we are defending ourselves against an aggressor. Remember, if you have no good fight to fight for, you will end up fighting any and every fight that comes your way. And anything worth having is worth fighting for. Let me remind you, lest you forget, that the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains, of springs that flow out of valleys and on hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land in which you will eat bread without scarcity, in which a land whose stones are iron